Hello, hello, everybody. This is Grace with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to the new fellow travelers, and to those of you returning, welcome back. You are loved, valued, and very much appreciated. Now, let's take this time to show ourselves some love and give ourselves a big hug. Gentle reminder, it's important to balance your chakras on a daily basis. Let's do our chakra exercise. Crown chakra. I know that God is with me. Third eye chakra. I see. I'm ready for whatever life has to bring to me. Throat chakra. I speak. I speak in all sincerity. Heart chakra. I love. I love my family. Solar plexus chakra. I can achieve my dreams. Sacral chakra. I feel encouraged. Root chakra. I have an abundance of more than I can ask for. I decided to begin to briefly just share some insight in regarding the chakras, because as long as I've been doing these chakra exercises with people, I'm also very aware that some people do not even attempt to participate or even investigate in anything in relation to chakras. And I feel it's very important. It's important enough for me to give you more of an insight, and even if it's just planting the seed. The goal is to give you enough insight that you begin to develop your own regimen in relation to chakras and keep your wellness up. So, the crown chakra is related to universal consciousness. Okay? Those of you who are being introduced, I'm well aware that majority of those that listen are versed in that department. But I consider everyone because I connect with everyone. And so this is why I'm taking this opportunity to take baby steps with you and grow with you. Third eye chakra is connected to your psychic abilities. Okay? Your ability to channel visions and so forth. Your throat chakra is obviously in connection to communication and self-expression and many more. Heart chakra is associated with love and understanding. Solar plexus chakra is related to personal power, willpower, energy. Sacral chakra is related to emotions, relationships, sexuality. The root chakra is associated with your ability to ground yourself, stability, self-confidence, and so forth. Now, one of the other activities that you can do to apply self-care in relation to your chakras is to say these mantras. Crown chakra, which is I am divine. Those that practice meditation and practice saying mantras say Om, Om, Om. Third eye chakra, I am intuitive. The mantra that is repeated in order to apply self-care is Sham, Sham, Sham. The throat chakra, I am expressive. The mantra that is said to practice self-care is Ham, Ham, Ham. The heart chakra, I am loved. The mantra that is said to maintain its wellness is Yam, Yam, Yam. The solar plexus chakra, I am strong. The mantra repeated in association to it is Ram, Ram, Ram. The sacral chakra, I am creative. The mantra in association to it is Vam, Vam, Vam. And the root chakra, I am grounded. The mantra in association to it is Lam, Lam, Lam. And you say it as often as you need to say it. You say it until you feel better. And that's why it is your assignment to research how do you know when your chakras are blocked. It's very important for you to know when your chakras are blocked, because that is when you need to tend to it even more than your daily routine. There are different things you can eat, different things you can listen to, different things you can see, different activities you can participate in, but we push wellness over here. And I encourage you to participate in self-care on a daily basis. Now, something else I'd like to go over with you is angel numbers, because I make reference to them frequently. And so those of you who haven't come across and haven't gained an understanding, although I know many of you already have come across. But again, I am also connected to those that are brand new. And angel numbers are in reference to numbers from signs that alert us that we are being helped and guided, sometimes warned, and that we are on the right path. Now, some more insight. Sometimes it's a ring in the ear. Sometimes it's a repeated number you keep seeing all around you. It might be on your grocery list. Then it might be on an address. Then, the number just keeps coming up. Someone makes a mention of it. Or coincidences that appear to be coincidences, because there is no such thing as coincidences. And the more you stay balanced, you will become more alert in communication. And so you will be able to capture these signs as they come. It's something that cannot be taught any further than what I'm explaining. It's actually a hands-on experience that can thoroughly give you an understanding on what it is to engage with angel numbers, why we decode them, and why it's so important to us. Okay? But I wanted to give you some insight, which is there are several different ways to decode angel numbers. And this is why I've shared before with some that have contacted me for spiritual guidance. I've shared before that there are different books with different definitions in relation to these angel numbers. And that is why you can't rely on them, because it's something in relation to your vibration. Okay? So before you even make it a priority to gain an understanding on angel numbers, your priority should be to gain an understanding what it is to develop a spiritual support team, because they will guide you. Pay attention. They will guide you as to where you need to go to find the correct decoding of that number in particular. Now, some of us find these answers off the internet, but I'm sure many of you have noticed that you put a number in and there could be 3 or 4 different definitions. And this is why you need to be connected, right? And that's why some of us associate it with DNA, because it's a fact. There is so much information that I gather that will never be available to the next person. Not because that their definitions are not correct and my definitions are not correct. The thing is, we are on two different paths, okay? My spiritual support team is different from theirs. My ancestors is different from theirs, okay? My history, my bloodline is different from theirs. So this is why copying each other or, trying to imitate each other, trying to, bring falsehood when it relates to authenticity is not serving you any justice. When you are seeking insight, guidance, and wisdom relating to angels, God, ancestors, any and everyone in your spiritual support team. Those of us that have been on this journey for a minute, I'm sure you understand clearly of what I'm trying to convey here. But those of you that are newer, my words to you is a word of encouragement, which is keep coming back, right? Keep making yourself available to wisdom, to understanding, to enlightenment. And as you do that, in taking your baby steps, you won't even notice when the transformation occurred. But you'll be living in the transformation. You'll understand the definitions without having to go to read a book. There are times you don't have that book available. You don't have the internet available. And this is why, again, you need a sincere relationship with your spiritual support team, because even without the book, even without the internet, even without someone who has knowledge in relation to what this information entails, you can go inside and say, I don't have my book with me. I don't have the internet with me, but I need to know what that means. Tell me, show me, help me to understand what that means. And I guarantee you that you will receive the message It could be something that appears in front of you. It could be something somebody says. It could be a thought. It could be a flashback. And that's why it's important as well, when you subscribe to angel numbers, to not only look them up, but pay attention to how you was feeling and what you was experiencing. That's very important. Pay attention to how you was feeling when you noticed it and what you was experiencing it, because it's all connected. So I hope I've given that type of concept some type of justice, because that is what I subscribe to, and that is not necessarily what you must subscribe to. But I am very aware that the reason why some of you are beginning to follow or subscribe is because we are on a similar journey. And that's why there are That's why the term soul family was created, because there are families. There are soul families. And this is why certain people are attracted to certain readers or certain teachers, because they listen and exactly what they were going through in their life, they're given guidance. They're given clarity. Okay, they gain wisdom. And then you can listen to someone else or go to services from someone else, and there's no connection. In fact, it doesn't make sense. In fact, there are times you may find the experience to be like somewhat annoying. Like, why am I even listening? Like, I could be doing so many other things right now. Like, there are these moments, and it's not to discredit them. We have to respect the fact that they are called for a different collective. And so this is why there are certain people that I will give time to, and then there are others that not likely. Okay? Without judgment, right? Because that would be ignorance. And being a bully just lowers your frequency. Those that are out there that are trying to bully others and, oh, things are done this way and it has to be this way and you have to be part of this coven or this assembly and this is how it's done, you know, those are bullies. Okay, because some people feel they are called to be part of. Some people are called to be solo. Their guidance comes from God. Their understanding, their knowledge comes from God. And so you do not have to go and sit and be schooled from someone else when you were anointed to align with your soul's purpose. And this is why, again, you will hear me repeat that it is very important for you to bond and form a relationship with your spiritual support team, because they will guide you in regards what you need to read, what you need to learn, what you need to memorize, what you need to do in your daily regimens, how to maintain your wellness, who you need to connect with, who you need to avoid, what you need to listen to, what you need to cut out, where you need to stop going, what you need to stop doing. You need a connection, an authentic one. Because those of you who are just blowing hot air and claiming, I have a connection and I'm connected and I'm anointed and I'm, the proof is in the pudding. Okay? I can't put it any other way besides that. Because you need to be bearing fruit. You need to be able to fulfill whatever you're claiming that you are called to do without copying another. You need to be able to fulfill whatever you claim you're being called for without having to put others down to rise yourself up. In fact, you don't have time for that because your time is spent on what you need to be reading, watching, listening to, doing. There's no time to be a spy. Now, keep in mind, I will always encourage those of you who have been, notice I said past tense because God handled it. You understand? When you affirm your life, regardless if you see the miracle, you need to speak in affirmation. It's already mine. You understand? And so those of you who have been persecuted, lied on, cheated on, mistreated, you know the song? You need to claim your deliverance. You need to claim your victory. You need to claim your detachments. Because if he said he was going to do it, he's going to do it. I'm also being reminded to tell you the importance of gratitude. Don't you form a relationship that consists of can I have, can I have, can I have? There are times you need to say, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? There are times you need to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. God wants a full-time relationship with you, not a part-time relationship. Okay? He's not trying to be your sidekick. He's not trying to be treated like man because he is supreme. And so it is time that we get our priorities straight. Less time on those that we stalk, those that we gang stalk, those that we lie on, those that we steal from, those that we plot on, and more time. God, what do you want from me? Please help change me. Please guide me. Please deliver me from evil. What is your relationship to God? I'm not asking you what you do Sunday morning. I'm not asking you what you do on Wednesday night, Friday night. I'm not asking you what you do at the revival. What is your relationship to God? Does he even cross your mind? Does his input ever matter? Do you ever remember what he's done already? Now let's get real. Do you believe in him? I said let's get real. Do you believe? Again, this is why we need to spend more time on ourselves, more time on our relationship with God, more time on building with our spiritual support team, more time giving thanks, and less time focusing on nonsense. Because when you focus on nonsense, you begin to live a life of nonsense. And it is my heart's desire, from the bottom of my heart, that one day you will see yourself worthy enough to love yourself. Because it requires that first step. Until you feel that you are worthy to be loved, you are not going to do right by yourself. You are not going to think before you act. You are not going to conduct yourself in a manner that will assist you for your future. And so I pray there is hope. I pray there is hope. I pray there is hope for you. And I put it in God's hands, releasing it, letting it go. This is what you empaths out there need to begin to do. Because you feel the emotions. You want the best. You try with passion to assist those that have crossed paths with you to better themselves. But we need to accept not everyone wants your help. I'm going to say that again. There's an empath in here. There's an empath in here. That is depleted. Mind, body, and soul. And the reason why you are feeling depleted is because you are carrying luggage that does not belong to you. You are being asked to put the luggage down. If it does not belong to you, put it down. Just put it down without questioning. But what's going to happen? But suppose this happens. But I don't want to feel guilt. Put it down. You are being told that the same way you have a God, whoever that is codependent on you can connect to God. Stop trying to be God in their lives. Allow God to be God because He is God. Now, I'm not here to put you down, but I'm here to relay the messages. Some of you have been enablers for long enough. You have been the safety blanket to take others out of trouble, out of their karma, out of maturity. You are part of the problem. It's time for you to be honest with self and accept you are part of the problem. Now, you're not being told this to beat yourself up. You're not being told this to deprive yourself from forgiveness. You're being told this to assist you to move forward. You owe it to yourself. You deserve it. And God sees you worthy of it. Affirm who you are. And let go of who you're not. Let go of the identity of who you're not. I am not his God. I am not her God. If you have to repeat it, confirmation. If you have to repeat it over and over and over again. I am not his God. I am not his God. I am not his God. I am not her God. I am not her God. I am not her God. Repeat it until you believe it. That you have your own problems to solve. You have your own life to manage. You have to serve your own soul's purpose. Yes. I said you have to serve your own soul's purpose. I'm going to say it again because some of y'all are serving what other people are telling you to do. Some of you are allowing other people to box you and tell you this is the box you belong in. You cannot get any wider, any taller. This is the box I want you in. You are here to serve your own soul's purpose. Now, there are times you have to leave what you're familiar with. And this could be best described in a dream that I heard someone make at a church years ago. But I never forgot it. It was basically a dream that someone had. In the dream, she said it was a dream, so this is why it may seem a little odd. But she was a flower in the dream. And she was in a small pot in the dream. And someone told her, I don't know why she's not growing. I'm pouring this water. I'm giving it vitamins. I don't know what to do. And someone else said, she needs a bigger pot. I never forgot that dream. And that told her, although it meant that she left the church that she was at and she went to another church, because the church she was at, they saw her a certain way. This is the box you belong in. You do not deserve any advancement. No, you cannot do anything else but what we told you to do. Even if God put it on your heart that you're told to serve this way or that way. No, this is what we need you to do. And this is what had her leave her church home and go to another church. And she was well received, and she was given opportunity, and there was no limit. But she took the opportunity to share with the congregation, this is who I am. This is where I came from. And this is what God did for me. This is why we are called to detach. Because many want us to allow them to play God in our lives. Many won't stop at anything to interfere with our progress. That puts you in danger. And this is why you have to believe blindly when it comes to God. I remember some years back, I was working with the mentally ill population. I love that job. I love to see people get out of depression. I love to see them gain back their empowerment. I love to see them being able to be stable enough to function in society. I love their success that came from self-care. Reading what they needed to read, saying what they needed to say, learning what they needed to learn, encouraging each other. It was a process. But God did it. I honestly believed I would be doing this for the rest of my life. Facilitating support groups, teaching, visiting different places in the community, hospitals, universities, schools. But God had another plan for me. Can I tell you it didn't come easy? That news did not come to me easy. I was growing where I was. I had people who believed in me. I had those that saw something in me to the point where they paid for me to go get further training, plane tickets. Yes, they believed in me. They honored me by giving me certificates of appreciation. It was a second family to me. I'm telling you, if it wasn't God himself, can I be honest with y'all? Because that's the only thing I know. If it wasn't God himself that said, stop, I would continue to pursue more healing for all those that fall under the umbrella of being mentally ill. I was so devoted, I began going to meetings, to learn how to connect with those in the government that assist with programs in relation to that population. And I wasn't being paid for that. That was on my free time. That I went into for trainings, and, we discussed different things about lobbying, and, it's always good to volunteer, because when you volunteer, you learn things that you probably would never come across. I really was devoted to what I was doing. But God told me to stop. I remember telling God, why? No, seriously, why? I'm helping others heal. I'm having an opportunity to share my story, to be in my truth, to be transparent. Why do you want to take this away from me? But again, he was teaching me to trust him blindly. People, I kept on going to work. I was like, nah, I must be tired or something. I must need some rest. Like, God wouldn't be saying that. Nah, it's something else. Then I began to have dreams. Then I began to have visions. Then I heard songs on the radio that was in association with detaching. Then I began to see movies with detaching. Oh, he was getting louder and louder until it was so loud. I remember calling my supervisor, holding the tears back, and saying, you know what? I'm going to have to take my leave. She was in a big shock. She's like, what? You? You are the first person who volunteers. Oh, someone else can't come to work? I'll do it. You need to assist this way, or you need some help in the office? I'll do it. Whatever it was, I'll do it. What happened? Why do you want to leave? I said, I'm just going to tell you what's going on. I don't have any problems with anyone there. In fact, I love them like family. Obviously, I don't have a problem with you. We have a connection. In fact, I can come to you even when it's not in relation to the job. You got me. People don't walk away from that type of support. Okay? But God is telling me I need to stop. Mind you, he didn't even tell me what I'm going to be doing next. I want y'all to understand this journey, okay? Because truthfully, it's full of grace. I said, I don't even know where I'm going to work next. I know what I do on my spare time. I blog and I write. And I still assist the community at a certain capacity to bring healing. My dream is to one day create a nonprofit. I'm trying to recall exactly what I said. To continue to bring healing to those that need it in our communities. But I'm at its early stages. And everything is on me. I'm affording everything. So I don't know what God's going to do. But every time I go to work, something happens, like on my way to work, something to discourage me, or, I have to go to another meeting. I have to do things, and, other responsibilities in relation to, other parts of my life. Something is always coming up. I believe he wants me to leave. I remember her saying, you could come back. And to be honest, that did bring comfort in knowing I could come back. But when I stopped going, I began to have more dreams and more visions. You need to take care of yourself. You need to practice self-care. You need to focus on you. And I'm asking God, what are you talking about? Like when I was working, I was doing all of that. Because even at the meetings, I was, teaching others ways to show up for themselves. And because I was teaching it, I had to live it. I can't just teach it. I was living what I was teaching. You see, certain jobs, you can't be fake when you show up, because part of your job description is to share your story. So I can't tell you to leave your addiction if I'm in addiction, because I have to be able to look at you in the eyes, okay? Share my story. Share how I overcame. You understand? I'm fortunate in the respect that I never had to tackle with addiction. And I respect those who got a hold of it. Oh, because I believe that some people got a hold of it. There's a singer, I'm not going to mention her name, but everyone knows her. Okay? We also know she used to be on crack. Today, she's a role model. You don't even have to say her name. You can just do her dance. And we all know who it is. So I believe in recovery. I know it can happen. But it takes a lot. To make the decisions that sometimes are out of your comfort zone. So whether it is to leave your addictions or to stop being a people pleaser, to recognize that your anxiety is in relation to narcissistic abuse, that your depression is in association to emotional abuse, domestic abuse. And you have to detach. Sometimes it's a marriage. The question is, do you want to save your life? Because that will guide your steps. So the last dream I had that made me leave, I dreamt I went somewhere full of chairs. But all the chairs had white blankets on them. And I didn't understand why. And I remember going out to the parking lot and the police saying there's no room for you to park here. And I was like, what are you talking about? My car is in a parking spot. No, but you can't park here. I said, what? You want me to park right next to it? Because obviously you see that there's full of parking spaces all over this place. So I know you may want to pick on me, but I'm just trying to get an understanding of what's the root of this. Do you want me to park over here or over there? No, you can't park there. You can't park over there either. And as a matter of fact, if you do not remove the car from the premises, then it's going to be towed. So I woke up knowing, I have to move. Okay. Yeah, I have to move. And the fact that I've been receiving many messages about leaving my job, regardless if I wasn't having any issues with anyone in the job, if I loved my clients, if I had to leave. People, it's called blind faith. People. God was just trying to protect me. God was just trying to save my life. People, I did not know the person that I was married to was trying to kill me. Did you hear me? I did not know he was working in association with a coven that was trying to kill me. And this is why God made me leave the job. Thank you, God. I won't apologize for being emotional because only I know what God has done for me. This man would follow me and know my entire workload because I worked at more than one location. He knew I was there on Mondays. He knew what time I was there. He knew what time I left. He knew I was there Tuesdays. He knew what time I got there, what time I left. Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. And I'm on the hit list. I'm in the process of being sacrificed. What my eyes didn't see, God saw. And it was after I left the job, started caring more for myself, started praying more, started rebuilding, started reading more. Is when more and more and more of my psychic abilities began to develop. And I was encouraged to follow my intuition because I need to learn more. So I need to follow my intuition as to what I need to learn and what I don't need to learn. Your intuition will guide you. That is what I was told. And sure enough, this is why I push every day. Learn something new every day. Confirmation. Sure enough, every day, I was given a nudge to go in this direction and that direction. Sometimes it was a YouTube video. Sometimes it was a podcast. Sometimes it was social media. Sometimes it was meditation. Sometimes it was music. Sometimes it was art. Sometimes it was dancing. Sometimes it was walking. And being in nature. Every day being in nature. I was like one of those senior citizens I say it with giggles, but I say it quite confidently because I follow the beat of my own drum and I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. I do what I want and like to do. I enjoyed going to the park and feeding birds. And I did this regularly. Not knowing that this was helping me grow. Helping me to connect with all there is. It was helping me to serve. But there came a time after learning more and more and more of the fact that my life was in danger, I was guided to change my entire schedule. Which I did. This has affected the life of my family because we all changed our schedules. Because we always stick together. Because if you're coming for one, you're coming for all. I trust God. And little and by little, he began to reveal more and more and more of what was going on. Sometimes through angel numbers. Sometimes through dreams. Visions. And many other experiences. Some I can't even explain. But I was able to uncover the entire plot that was done behind my back. By those in the Farragon and Morgan bloodlines. Some of these people I've seen in dreams and never met in person. Some of them I met once. Some of them are so cowards that their connection to me only has been through the services that I offer. Asking me to read for them. Meanwhile, telling the population that, no, she's not gifted. No, she doesn't know how to read. No, she's an imposter, but you are paying me to read for you. And this is how they lied to the communities, right? Saying I'm incompetent and, I don't have enough intelligence. I don't have enough confidence. The list was too long. But basically, I wasn't made for my soul's purpose. In fact, they were made for it. And they could be me better than me. At that time, they had no idea that we were just classmates. And when I got promoted to be the teacher, they were the students. And so the rude awakenings that they are experiencing today are due to the fact that they were imposters as teachers. They wanted to be celebrities, right? I wanted to heal. There's a difference. I said there's a difference. Because God is not looking at your popularity. He's looking at your heart. He doesn't approve of you cheating. He appreciates your dedication. And so although I was discouraged, lied on, cheated, mistreated, I'm sure you've heard the song. Through God, I'm still standing and very strong. You see, when God has a plan, there is nobody, no place, no group, no thing that can stop his final word, confirmation. A position such as this requires for you not to be a people pleaser. Clearly it does. Because a lot of what I have said, a lot of what I'm saying, a lot of what I will say will not be pleasing to many. Because the truth hurts. And this is why in his selecting, he selects someone that is not seeking popularity, not seeking to fit in, not seeking to compete, but to serve her soul's purpose by helping others heal. When I experience something good, I want another person to experience something good. This is why when I learn something, I want to teach it to someone else. When I uncover a resource, I want to make it available to someone else. When I see discouragement, I want to encourage someone by sharing my story. And we are in no position to redirect God and his decisions. It's never easy to serve because there will always be some form of opposition. But when your only goal, pay attention, your only goal, one more time, your only goal is to serve it makes the challenges fade away. I'm not interested in he say, she say, they say. I'm not interested in connect with us now because we don't like them either. I'm not interested in proving a point. My interest is to stand up for what I believe in, to maintain my freedom of choice, and to assist others in their empowerment. Because ritualistic abuse will no longer be tolerated. This is what I have been subjected to, among many other things, for the past couple of years. All types of low vibrational magic, being targeted by groups on a routine basis, preferably at night, to disturb my sleep in order to weaken me and to amplify their spell work. I said a couple of years. I've dealt with it for a couple of years. And this is why Judgment Day has come. This is why when you listen to my earlier podcasts, I share the person that is doing black magic on my eyes. Because you want to make me blind and you want me to lose my gifts and my ability to see by attacking my third chakra. I want you to know, God said, before you die, you will be blind. I believe it was 1 or 2 years ago I said that. Right? And I know who's experiencing that. I know. And I also know you're listening. I also said the person that continues to attack me with black magic, me and my son, I want you to know. And that was on Instagram. I want you to know you will get pregnant. Both you and your child will have a disease. One that you can't return. I said it. And I know you hear me. I also said the person that is attacking my solar plexus to affect my willpower, my ability to manifest, my creativity, and so forth, I want you to know that you will get stomach cancer. It's happened. I also said the person that continues to do sex magic on me, you will experience back to sender. I remember saying that. Back to sender. I want you to know, I know it's happening. And I know you're listening. Right? You see, when you have a direct connection to God, You don't need nobody to call you and fill you in. Did you hear? Did you know? Did you see? No, I don't need all of that. Okay? I don't need to watch a reader. Okay? I don't need to spy. Okay? As I've shared before, everything that is being done to me, I'm notified by my spiritual support team. And everything that has been returned to sender, I'm notified by my spiritual support team. And this is why we can recognize the real ones from the foes. The ones who claim that they're teachers, but need others to teach them. Now, I'm not saying that teachers don't need teachers. Doctors don't need doctors. Lawyers don't need lawyers, because it's a given. But when it comes to ethics, if I have to teach you what a leader is and how to comport yourself ethically, you may need to re-examine your entire life. Because there is an underlying issue that needs to be dealt with. Now, I'd like to share the channeled song that I received. And I really appreciate in receiving this channeled song, because it said everything that I can say about my experience from being targeted from the cannibal bunch. The song is called Blessed. Well, actually, the song is called I'm Blessed. And the lyrics you knew God's hand was upon my life. You refused to cooperate. You messed with me. You messed with the fire. I'm just getting hotter. Walking in power. Look at your face. You looking sour. It's making you sick. You're pulling out your spells and tricks. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And you can't curse what the Lord has blessed. Your voodoo won't work because I'm so blessed. I'm out for blood. You messed with the wrong one. At the wrong time, you messed with me and my family. First, you were a fool to underestimate me. I've got angels standing right beside me. I can start a war with just one command. You just don't know who I am. I am that's going to break your back and make you remember you ain't all that. And devil, you know what I was born to do. Assassinate you and your demons too. And I bind you in the name of the Lord. We, the people of God, ain't afraid no more. I've got the word in my hand. I'm going to cut everything that's anti-Christ. I'm going to show mercy. Third, the anointing is my deity. And I'm about to detonate. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And you can't curse what the Lord has blessed. Your spell won't work because I'm so blessed. People, when I heard that song, I put it on repeat. Because I was like, how is it you're singing my song? How is it do you know my story? How is it that I feel like I'm being ministered to? It's so because I'm never alone. Because my spiritual support team always knows what I need. And fortifying me is something that keeps me aligned with my soul's purpose. And so this is why, whether it's a song or a friend or a movie I watch, whatever activity that I engage in, they take the liberty in communicating with me. So today, I decided to call today's title, You Can Do All Things But Fail. Okay? Because when you have God on your side, you can do all things but fail. In fact, what others regard as failing actually assists you in heightening who you are. You see, every weapon that was used against me, okay, we'll send him in to do that, to participate in that fraudulent marriage. We'll make her think that he loves her genuinely. And then you'll leave her so you can break her. So you can make her feel like she wasn't worthy. So you can make her feel she wasn't pretty enough, that you found someone better. So you can make her feel as if she was a joke. God allowed all these things to occur to bring me to the happiest thus far, happiest part of the journey. I've never been so content. And the reason why is because I feel as if when I was a people pleaser, settling was very prevalent in my life. Settling was a part of my life to conform to society's preferences, and sometimes demands. In relation to legalities, whether it was a church, tradition, culture, family. In fact, I've had this discussion with others that went to school, that gained a profession, that are in their careers, and found themselves settling. Well, he's really not my choice. He's not my first pick. But I'm getting up there, you know? It's time I get married. I want to have kids one day. These are comments, people, that I've heard. Okay? From other women who settled. I could say, in my experience, I wanted to be in God's good grace. I was under the impression that confirmation. You see? Confirmation. I wanted to be in God's good grace. I was under the impression that if I took the step forward, for lack of a better word, because it was backward, I would not be living in sin. This is what I would need to do in order for me to get God's favor. To experience showers of blessings. Because this is how I was programmed. And so this is what I believed. But through these experiences, I've learned I was misguided on so many levels. I said so many levels. And marrying that cannibal under mind control was one of the biggest, let me rephrase that, was the biggest mistake I've made in my entire existence. But even in that backward movement, I was able to go to God and say, this ain't nothing I expected. Okay. Now you know why I'm in this position. Okay. The reason why is because I wanted to be in your will. I wanted to not be out there and engaging with this one and that one. I wanted you to be happy with me. And that's why I did it. But I'm not happy and I need you to take me out of this. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I need you to do it. I need a sign. And I just believed it's going to be all right. I just believed that even though you were discouraged to marry him, and he did this type of manipulation that convinced you that it would be the right thing to do, that we would be together. Confirmation. It was all a dream. And the best thing that's ever happened to me is waking up. Because as much as effort was put in to break me, to make me feel, worthless and so forth, because I gave so much of myself, I was more of a mother than a wife. Can I be honest? I said, can I be honest? Because that's the only thing I know how to do. There was no fulfillment. And God made it that the mask began to come off. And the mistakes began to increase. The disrespect began to be steady. The depletion of finances was overwhelming. I must confess, I recall someone mentioning to me during my marriage that, don't you realize ever since you got married, everything has been wrong in your life? Everything is going wrong in your life. That's something you need to pray about. But I was still in a trance. I was still being mind controlled. So although I remember her saying that, it did not motivate me to do what was best for me until I prayed. I said, God, I'm not happy. You know what it means to me to maintain my happiness. You know I have to be a parent. And you know I can't do it unless I am well. And not allowing depression to take over. God answered my prayer. I said God answered my prayers. He allowed him, them, should I say all of them, to mess up. To show confirmation, to show their true colors. To go on the internet and defame my character. To say lies. To say I stole their money. Meanwhile, throughout the whole marriage, I did not receive the favor of you paying one bill. Not one bill. And so I was the only one being depleted. I was the one being lied to, being told that he had papers, that he was legal, that he had a job, that this and that it was all a lie. But sometimes out of embarrassment, you get stuck. You understand? There were those who told me, nah, he's not for you. He's just walking them streets. He don't even have a car. Meanwhile, he claimed he did have a BMW, but his girlfriend crashed it in an accident, and that's why he didn't have a car at the moment. But he will get a car, no later than December. Never had one in the marriage. Again, it was all a dream. But he allowed them to goof up. He allowed them to convince him that better is for you out there. I found the answer. So, a divorce would afford you a better life. So bring it to her attention that you need to have a divorce because you need to get your papers. It's about time you get your papers. I willingly signed those papers. It was quite an experience because I was so drained financially that hiring a lawyer for the divorce was not something that I could even consider. So I had to teach myself. I had to go to a couple of courses. I had to go to the law library. I had to fill out the papers. I had to be dedicated and get it done. And so I fulfilled the request and succeeded at divorce. I know it was done to bring me down and break me down, but my life would not be my life if it didn't happen. I know it's hard. Sometimes you go through life and you're like, oh my goodness, and it's so hard, and why is God allowing this to happen? And people, sometimes it's to give you the best life has to offer. I wish I could convince you, that person that's going through a hard time right now and not understanding, God, where are you? I'm trying to tell you that was one of the best things God has ever done for me. Yo, freedom tastes good, honey. Freedom tastes good when you don't have to pay somebody else's bills. When you could put all the luggage down. When you could focus on you and your household. When you could fall in love without settling. I said, see, that was the point of everything I explained. Without settling. You see, when you settle, you will never feel the satisfaction 100%. You might feel it 80%, 85%. But there's always a little voice, well, I wish he could be like that. Too bad he doesn't do that. There are certain things that you want in a relationship. Okay? Some people love romance, right? And then others love for you to buy them purses and shoes and get their nails did and so forth. Some of us appreciate the little things that are actually everything. Me knowing that you respect me. Me knowing that you don't play about me. Me knowing I'm a priority to me is more important than a purse. See, everyone's different, and I understand that. In fact, I respect that. In fact, stay in your lane. But everyone is built different. Because I know I can afford to take care of me. And this is why I require someone who can afford to take care of him. In fact, when we put both of our hands together, it should be a release, not a drain. It should be easier, not harder. Life should be happier, not sad. I should feel I matter, not a burden. And this is why settling will never satisfy me. Because I want to be loved the way I'm loving you. And receiving less will have you hear time and time again, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Why don't we just go our separate ways? It's okay. It doesn't always work. I understand. But even in their toxicity, stop your foolishness. Dead us. Some type of patois suggesting that you maintain the relationship till death. And I thought to myself, are you okay with accepting that you will never be satisfied your entire life? Are you ready to accept that you will never be satisfied? Is that what you was aiming for? Is that what your life is worth? Settling? The answer was no. So when I got my freedom through divorce, and I was begged to stay and wait for him and until he could get his life together and so forth, I recall, and this is why they say people hear only what they want to hear. I recall we're going to be together. Just wait for me. I'm just going to go take care of something and then we'll be together. And if he has any truth in himself, I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word because I knew that's a joke. Yo, once you out that door, you out that door. You understand? I don't know what you was thinking, but I'm not going to waste my energy and argue with you. You can believe what you want to believe. That's on you. But I've been praying for this, child. So I didn't respond. I didn't hear you respond. And I didn't respond. I even told him, I don't agree with how you're going about this. There's something called karma. And playing with people's emotions and doing things that are, backstabbing will get you in bad karma. And so even if your family's telling you that you should, connect with this other person because this person can make things happen for you faster. Meanwhile, I paid enough lawyer fees. But his patients were he was in a rush. Okay? He was in a rush. He had family telling him, you need to jump. And he was jumping how high? But I really don't want to marry this person because it's an ugly old woman. And I don't look like her. Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I don't want to be married to her. And I told him, I don't think this is a good idea. But I know you're going to do what you want to do. I also said, make sure God is my witness. I said, God is my witness. I said, make sure you careful out there. I talked to him like a friend. Okay? Not like a husband because we was over that. Make sure you're careful out there. There's diseases out there. God, you heard me say that. Remember the vision I had. Remember the dream I had. You don't have to worry about me. And then the cookie crumbled how the cookie crumbled. But God allowed the cookie to crumble the way it crumbled because God was taking care of me. Yeah, he was taking care of me. Making sure that when he ran into all those that he ran into, that I wouldn't be in his crew, that he wouldn't be coming back to me, that I would be healthy and free. Could you imagine? No, seriously, could you imagine the kind of pain I would be in if I would have stayed in a relationship that God told me to leave, and then he brought something home? Oh, people, I'm not going to hide it from you. I don't know if I would get through. Do you understand? I don't know confirmation. I don't know how I would get through that one. Especially when I know I'm careful. I don't play about my health. And this is why I only have one child. It sounds kind of funny, but I'm so for real. This is why I only have one child, because I'm very careful. I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm with this one too, and not knowing what gift this one gave me. Nah, I can't live like that. Anxiety is real, people. I can't live like that. And this is why certain women, it's not that we're the hardest people in the world. It's our mental health. I cannot be with someone that is not faithful to me. Because once I don't trust you, I'm going to have anxiety too. Okay? And so it's going to go in all the areas and affect all the areas of my life. So there's no connection. That way, you could be with the world. You could have fun. And I don't got no problem. You see, I can't be that woman that's in a polygamous relationship, and it's on you. If that's what you want to do, it's on you. But to me, engaging with a person that engages with another person is disgusting to me. I can only be in a monogamous relationship where I know it's you and me and we're one. I cannot be sharing these intimacies with, oh no, Oh no. Oh no, I'm from a different cloth. Do you understand? And so anyone and everyone that wants to go down that route, I have no commentaries. I'm not even going to tell you not to do it. My only point of involvement is when it's being enforced on me. Or I'm being lied on. See, we don't know what to value, you know. That's the problem. We devalue what we should value. Some people like the popular man, the man with a lot of friends, the man that's known on the streets. What do they call him? A thug? Whatever it is. Whatever your fetish is. And others want someone that's at home with them, that helps with the kids. That's there to pray with me. That goes on family trips with me. That goes to the doctor's appointment. That goes to the PTA meetings. That is a family man. That does the homework with them. Because we are a team. But some people want to put on a show. Want to compete. Want to be better than everyone else. Want to be in the mindset that everyone wants to be like me. A joke, right? You see, in life we have choices. You can choose to put God first, or you can choose to put him last. But just know, those that put God first, you can do all things but fail. And sometimes the biggest gift of all, let me rephrase that. Not sometime, but the biggest gift of all is love. It's not what you could buy for me. It's not what lie you could tell me. It's not pretending that I have a better relationship with you than they have a better than their relationship. It's not none of that. Because what's for show is for show. And what's for home Your partner should feel like home. Should feel like home. Not foreign. Not just someone that pays my bills. But home. Because when I am his home and when he is my home, we can do all things but fail. And so when you don't want to settle, you have to share the same values. You have to have the same vision. No, I'm not saying conform. I said I'm not saying conform. That's not part of the sentence. Conforming. I said walked into the relationship with the same values, the same visions. Because then you can work at it together to achieve them. What do you want your family life to look like? What do you want your married life to look like? How involved do you want your family in our lives? Do they have a say between our relationship? Are there certain traditions or cultures or whatever it is that I need to know right now? Do you know God? Are you in your truth? Is there something you haven't disclosed? See, when you got all that straight and the attraction is there, and God, I said God, I'm going to say it one more. God put you together. That's not settling. So sometimes what the enemy used to break you, God uses it to make you. There are a lot of you out there that will never arrive to your highest potential because you don't have the mate that will give you the drive to encourage you to be all you can be. This is why you will see a person in a relationship that reaches a certain plateau. And you see that same person in a relationship, another relationship, that reaches an unbelievable plateau. And the only difference, one believed in her, one didn't. A lot of the times, the person you claim you love so much does not arrive at where their highest potential is because you discourage them. You always made them feel they're coming up short. You never gave them an encouraging word. You laughed at their dreams. You question, why can't they grow up? Why can't they be like everyone else? Why can't you just get a job? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you not live your soul's purpose? Why can't you just not live your dreams? Why can't you just sacrifice and live your life for me until death do us part? Again, we all have choices. You can choose to fail or choose not to fail. But when you are in God, when you are aligned with His will for your life, when you are okay with obeying Him, when He says, this relationship is not for you. He does not deserve you. When you're okay with that. I said when you are okay, not just okay in words, okay in action, okay in meditation, okay in strategy. If you release someone, you cannot just sit there and just thinking about what you thought yesterday was. You need to learn to detach. Part of it is discarding everything in your environment that reminded you of them. Blocking them on social media, blocking them, cutting your energetic ties. Sometimes it requires no longer keeping mutual friends. Because there's always that question. What about her? Oh, what about him? Why don't you work it? There are changes that are required on your journeys. I choose to surrender to God's will because you can do all things but fail. I don't know about you, but I was born to win. I said I was born to win. And so anything that gets in my way, please understand. You're going to have to step off. Period. I don't care about no friends. I don't care about no families. Nah. You in my way? You gonna have to step off. Our relationship status is irrelevant. I have a life to live, and you will not get in my way. I said, period. And so when God removes someone from your life, because that person brings the energy of death, and tells you, detach. There is death in him. Detach. You don't have to say it twice. I said you don't have to say it twice. Did he ever even happen? Because it was all a dream. Oh, I've detached. I've detached because it was all a dream. Darkness tried to steal my heart. But God's grace and mercy said no. Now I'm going to take this opportunity to share just a couple of cards that I received today. First one being insecurity. See a picture of a man and with a heart full of swords. And a demon right beside him. Insecurity. Next card is protected. You are safe and supported while you change your career. I want to bring it to your attention, those of you that are new to this journey. When reading oracle cards, and they make mention of career, that could be in relation to your work setting or your home. Because wife is a duty and husband is a duty. So when it says you are safe and supported while you change your career, that's telling me that you are safe on both departments of your workplace and also of your new commitment. Protected. Okay? Protected. Remember, you can do all things but fail. Next card is Magician and the Mirror. You see? Confirmation. Protected from who? Magician in the mirror. Right? Remember, first card was insecurity because his heart was full of swords. Because the demon is ready to come and get him. Because the sacrifice he made did not come through. Because the magic has no effect. Because she is protected. That part. Next card, restrictions. Restrictions can range from individual restrictions such as blocked self-expression to societal restrictions such as Jim Crow and failed immigration policies. Many of our ancestors experienced a range of restrictions that manifest for us today as energy blockages. Debilitated willpower and fear of risk-taking and the unknown. This card could also indicate an ancestor was a part of creating restrictions for individuals and groups, and that the karma is affecting you now. There are many reasons why restrictions are set. But we know clearly they are set when you need to protect yourself. Protect yourself from what? From that magician and the mirror. Okay? As a matter of fact, the next card is scrying mirror. Right? Shadow. Always spying on you. Because they need to know what you're going to do so they can do more spell work. Bring more blockages. They want you to join in the misery. In fact, they want you to take their place and they want to take your life. Next card is renewal. See, once you experience that restriction, you experience renewal. Okay? Following renewal, spend time in nature. Next card is blossoming abundance. See, that happened after the restriction. That happened after the renewal. Blossoming abundance. Next card is faith. This card can indicate a need to build a stronger connection with your higher power and your ancestors for the enhancement in the quality of your life. Faith. Faith. You can do all things but fail. But you have to maintain your relationship with your spiritual support team because you receive guidance, foresight, wisdom, and undoubtedly strength. Next card is awakening. Your spiritual support system assists you with awakening. Next card is joy. Awakening brings joy. Next card is strength. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. This is true. Very true. It gives you the confidence that if you could go through all of that, you can go through anything. Next card is strategy. If you haven't started writing in a journal, you're being recommended to do so. Write as often as you can. Lessons you've learned, goals you want to achieve, dreams you've had. And watch your life unfold as you co-create it. When you journal, it assists you with healing. And this is why the next card is DNA healing. Unresolved trauma as well as ancestral karma are stored within something called the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are connected to your DNA. This card indicates a deeper level of healing is needed in order to transmute karma and trauma inherited by ancestors. Akashic record recall is a powerful practice that can support our journey. I'm recommending that you research on different ways that you can experience DNA healing. There's a lot out there. Confirmation. And I do believe that some of these therapies do serve as DNA healing. Obviously, it will be trial and error for you, but keep trying because your ancestors live in you. Okay? And as you break those generational curses, you also want to embrace healing. So you don't allow it to become a blockage from receiving blessings. And the last card for today is rebirth. Okay. Once you've experienced the healing, first is the renewal, right? Nah. First is the restriction. Then it is the renewal. Then it is the awakening. Then it is the rebirth. I'm hearing the song, A Whole New World. I need to look into that song. Maybe there's a reason why it's come to me. A whole new world. But nevertheless, I enjoyed today's episode. I feel that we took a step forward. And that this baby step momentum is working. I'm asking you to stay encouraged and believe in you. If nobody believes in you, believe in you. Okay? Your inner self, your higher self is pleading with you that you believe in you, that you love yourself so that you make better choices. So tip of the day and every day, learn something new. Allow your intuition to guide you on what you need to learn today. I am who I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more and nothing less. I am who I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more and nothing less. I am who I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more and certainly nothing less. Be strong. Stay strong. You're strong.